Good morning. I thought I'd take a minute to talk about what a good boss is. What makes a boss a good boss? Got a roaster accompaniment, so bear with me. But what makes a boss a good boss? Is it they give you the hours you want? Is it that they give you everything you ask for, or always say nice things and never correct your behavior if you're doing something that's not company policy? Um, do they let you slide on things? Is that being a good boss? Or is holding everyone to a high standard so that the business produces quality products, quality services to maintain that business so the business can grow and the business can be beneficial and give you job security? Is it, what makes a good boss? What makes a good boss? You want a boss that just lets you do whatever you want? Because if they let you do whatever they want, then everybody else do what you want, and then you're complaining because somebody else is doing something that you think is not right, and then they're complaining about you because you're doing something they don't think is right, when they're really just trying to put you on the same page, that you don't want to do what's expected of you to make the business grow. Like people think that they're just, I'm just in it for the money. I just want my paycheck. Well, yeah, you do it for a paycheck, of course, but why would that boss want you to work over somebody else's work? Do you try to help the business be a success? Maybe you don't care about that business, but that business gives you a job. And if that business fails, how are you going to have a job? People today, they just get so self-absorbed they don't stop and think how things work. And if you want a business to hire you and keep you, you need that business to be a success. You don't need a job that's just barely scraping by, or a job that can't function, because not all businesses, especially when they're privately owned and they're not some big corporation, they don't have money coming in hand over fist. They're going hand to mouth just like you are, and they need you to help their business be a success. Big corporations have millions and millions of dollars, but not all businesses do. And if you work for a small business owner and they press you about doing your job right, you can't be mad at them for it, because they want their business to be a success for you too. Because if you could be a success to their business, they make more money, they get more customers, and that makes them better as well as you better. You can't be lazy. You can't just not care about how you make things or how you present things to the customer. You have to care, or at least pretend you care long enough to get through the day and make that business shine, especially in small businesses, because they don't have the resources that large corporations have. Not all business owners are millionaires. You know, we got this idea from TV telling us that all business owners are millionaires. They're not. You know, if a especially if it's the owner is telling you that this is how he wants stuff done, you need to pay attention and do it the way the owner wants it done, because they will replace you if you don't. And then you go on social media and you want to trash them out because, well, you lost your job because you cussed the owner out. Well, what do you expect? If you own your own business and your employee that you hired to do a job for you cusses you out, talks trash to you, and won't do things the way you want it done, I mean, would you keep them? You know? And then they want to go and trash you on social media? You know, People who trash their boss on social media more often than not are people who are lazy, don't want to work, are in it just for what they can get out of it for themselves, and aren't trying to help that business grow. Because you have to work to make that business grow for your own job security. Yeah, it helps the business owner, but that's what the business owner needs, is people to help them make their business run. You can't just go in there and be greedy for your own self-interest and expect to keep your job forever, because sooner or later it's going to catch up with you. I mean, it takes years, but it will eventually catch up with you. Because if that business, if you're not treating the customers right and you're not presenting the product in the way that the owner wants it done, sooner or later it will catch up to you and bite you in the butt. You have to respect the owner. You have to respect your managers if you want to have a successful career or successful job in your business. Now, sometimes managers, especially when they're not related to or close to the owner, they have the same thing. If they're not doing their job like they're supposed to, then they could find themselves in a bad way. They could be without a job because they're supposed to be doing their job and respecting the owner and doing what the owner wants done. And sometimes they don't do that because sometimes people, even managers, they are just as susceptible to being selfish and greedy and thinking of themselves just as the low man on the totem pole. So you got to give what you get. You can't just go into a business and just think I'm making my money for me and that's it. You have to actually work for it. No one's going to hand you anything on a silver platter, and not all bosses are millionaires. So put your big boy, big girl panties on, do your job the best of your ability, and take what comes. If you get told that you did something wrong, you got told you did something wrong. Correct it. Do a better job. Be a better employee. You know, focus on making that business a success because that's where your job security comes from. Do the little extra stuff that you don't want to do because that's job security. Really want to make some money. You want to have a good job. You want to have a good relationship with your boss. Do a good job. Do what your owner and managers want you to do, even if it's not what you think is the right thing to do. Because that's their business. They have the right to decide how they want it run. Just like you have the right to run your household the way you decide you want it to run, because it's yours. And young people today have no concept. They're all about, well, me, and my money and my paycheck, and I want to do it this way. I don't want to do that because I don't like doing it that way. So I'm not going to because I don't care. Worst things you could say about your job is I don't care. Because why are you there then? Just to make money? You can make more money and do better if you care. Got to make that job a success, make that business a success, and make your job important to you to to get somewhere in any job, you know, especially if it's not corporate owned. These smaller companies, that job's your bread and butter, but you're that owner's bread and butter. And it's a symbiotic relationship, and you need to respect that and work your butt off and make that business a success for your own job security and your own peace of mind. And when you have a manager or an owner that will go to the mat for you, that recognizes that you are trying to do a good job for them, and they reward you by wanting to help you have a good time and a good successful time. And in my personal case, I'm out with a broken arm, and the owner of my business is holding my job for me. He's keeping my job for me, and that means the world to me on so many levels that I can't explain. Because there's a lot of jobs that would just fire you on the spot and you're done. Goodbye. That's not okay. You got to work for your job. You got to put time in. You got to be respectful. You got to take the lumps with the gravy. Because sometimes you're going to be told you didn't do something right. That's how it is. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody does stupid stuff. Everybody loses their focus and does things they shouldn't do. It's human. It's being a human. So when you get told about it, don't get mad. Don't throw a fit. Don't become belligerent and I shouldn't be talked to like that. No, maybe you earned it. You know, earn some good stuff. Work hard. Respect the business. Respect the owners and the managers. Do your job hard. Do your job well, as if it's your own business. And if you have a good owner and good managers, they will respect you and appreciate you for that. If you don't, then you don't. And maybe you do need to move around. But sometimes there's a lot of things the owners and the managers know that you don't know. Things that if you've never owned a business, you can't comprehend. And just like when you're a kid and you have parents that tell you things and you can't go do that. Your friends are doing that, but I don't want you doing that because they want to protect you and they want you to be a success. It's the same thing with your job. A job wants his business to be a success. So they're going to tell you what they want you to do. And if you don't do what they want you to do to make your business a success, they're going to say something to you. Or they might let you go. You might have to find another job. So you got to be able to take the lumps with the gravy, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't just go on social media and blast out your boss because you had a disagreement and you yelled and screamed and cussed at them and was acting in a very unprofessional manner and they let you go. You know, So it's you give what you get in a lot of ways, and sometimes that's actually a hard hitting truth. And you got to respect your job, so your job can respect you. Now you can't get that with corporations. Corporations, you're all a number. It's a whole different ball of wax. It's all a number. They don't care about you because they know that they can replace you so quick. It's not funny. But the small business owner, they're going to be invested in their people. They don't want to keep hiring new people. They want to have good people there. They're going to grow their business and work with them. So think about that when you get a job. Think about how important it is to do good work for your boss, especially if you work for a small company. Anyway, my thought of the day. Hope y'all put some thought into it. Chew on that. Let it run around your brain a little bit and think about it. Because just being self-serving, no one likes a narcissist, a self-serving person, even outside of the work. No one likes that person that's all about me, 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 me. You know, just be real, be human, and treat everybody with respect equally. Anyway, with all of that, have a good day.